Each piece is over $2,000, and this entire plate is about $25,000. This is a down payment on a house.
In this video, I've traveled all the way to Hong Kong to take on this city's most extreme foods. Hong Kong is a bustling metropolis of over 7 million, bursting with Cantonese-influenced food options. Think roasted meats, seafood, and noodles. And I'm on a mission to try it all. From Hong Kong's fading version of street food known as Dai Pai Dong, where sidewalk chefs cook up magic in a wok, all the way to their succulent seafood, both at affordable markets and at super high-end Michelin-rated restaurants.
We're gonna be trying something that costs $900.
But first, I'm taking on every type of Hong Kong noodle. The best, the oldest, the most expensive.
Let's head now to our first location under the guidance of Virginia. She is the operator of Humid with a Chance of Fishballs, a tour company here in Hong Kong. Let's head to our first location. Right behind us, Virginia, what is the name of this place and how cheap are the noodles exactly?
Hap Dik Thai, and you can get noodles for $1.30.
$1.30?
Yeah.
On the street?
That's right.
That's wild.
And apparently they sell 5,000 rice rolls a day.
The best part about this location is she has not gotten permission yet. So we're about to go in and maybe get yelled at. So this is not a joke. She brought envelopes full of money. Smart.
I also brought my actual tour guide license to show that I'm legit.
This is never gonna work.
Hello, 你好啊，我想問下有冇經理或者老闆啊？
All right, she's gone inside. She's talking to somebody inside and she is gone.
She said okay.
She said okay?
Yeah!
All right, so right here, the steamer is open and you can see there are tons of rolled noodles inside. That is soy sauce. Then we get some sesame sauce and then some sweet hoisin sauce and then the sesame seeds on top and then a stick. Yes, and then a chili sauce being added as well. These noodles are giving me anxiety over here. I can't believe how fast she made those. Okay, let's go eat. So here we have our dish. Come take a look. Now, you may know the first way they're making it cost so little, perhaps a lack of protein. It's just a rice batter that they spread, steam, and roll up. After that, they're just piling on a load of different flavors. Although I heard that there's some animal lard, the cheapest part of the animal. Our first course of the day, let's give it a shot. Oh my lord, it's sweet, it's savory, it tastes like sweet diner jam. That's strange. Is it supposed to be this sweet?
Yes, because of the hoisin sauce. This is our kids' favorite breakfast and after school snack.
No wonder it suits me so well. I find it to be delicious, very unique. When I just saw the plain rice rolls, I was like, oh, that's not gonna have any flavor. But really, they've piled on the flavor here. It's got a little bit of everything. It's basically peanut butter and jelly noodles, right?
That's exactly right.
Food experts. So that is our first location, $1.30 for noodles, super cheap. But next, we're moving to a location where they're serving one of the oldest noodles you will find in Hong Kong. Boom, and we have come to our second noodle location right here. Virginia, tell me more about it.
We're at a wonton noodle shop, and it started in 1946 as a street cart vendor, and then in 1961 it's moved over here.
This noodle shop is recommended on the Michelin guide. They are known for one exceptional dish. That dish is the
wonton noodles.
What do you think makes a wonton noodle stand out above every other type of noodle?
It's comforting, it's slurpable, and delicious, and it's the first thing I want to eat when I come back to Hong Kong.
Let's go inside and check it out. All right, so right now I'm walking through the very small dining room. I'm heading into the kitchen. This is where all the magic happens. We have the broth, we have wontons, we have the noodles, and all of that is gonna join forces soon. So the dish starts with the wontons. The wontons are already formed, but they're gonna blanch them right here in the hot water first. So let's talk about the broth right here. This is made with pork bones, but there's also dried flounder, dried shrimp roe, and dates as well. Alas, he takes out the wontons. So he takes a nice plump bunch of those, he puts them in the bowl, and then he soaks the whole bowl with that rich broth. Then my noodles hit the net here on this side. That's getting blanched right now. He gives them a little bit of a flip, give them a little bit of bath, and then boom, apply those to the top of the bowl. Scallions on top of that, and that bowl is complete. Guys, wonton noodles are probably my favorite noodles in the world.
Wow, I didn't know that. Over pho? Your wife is here.
My wife is holding the camera at the moment, but technically there would be a world or a reality in which this is my favorite over pho. So for me, I just love an egg noodle. It's all about the texture. It's got some chew to it. Cheers. It is a thin al dente noodle. As you're ripping through each chopstickful, you can feel each strand of noodles breaking against your teeth. It's so delicious. Like eating the hair of an angel, roughly speaking. What fascinates me about the broth is that they're using dried seafood, they're using pork bones. That's how you get a very layered, complex broth. It's so good. It's so savory, and these little green scallions that come with it imbue so much flavor. Next, we're going to the wontons. They put 5 plump, beautiful, wrinkly wontons inside. That's such a good wonton. Oh, I'm in love. Wife, give it a shot. Let me know what you think. It was good. It's really good. I'm gonna take one more wonton. I can taste pork, I taste the shrimp really exploding inside. So this is one of the best bowls of noodles I've ever had in Hong Kong, but also in my life. But we're not done here. From here, we're headed to a 1-star Michelin rated noodle restaurant that specializes only in noodles. I know what you're thinking. That's not 3. Yeah, but it's a lot better than 0. How many do you have? Sorry, I'm getting defensive. Let's head there now. Next on our noodle journey, one of the best noodles you will find in Hong Kong, and you'll find it in a mall. But some French guys who own a tire company say it's really good. And the noodle we're gonna be trying here is called We all remember that from our childhoods. Wait, what? What kind of noodle is it?
Rice noodle, and they make it fresh daily. They put in a wok and they stir fry it.
Fantastic. I believe this is gonna be my first time ever trying this noodle. Let's head to the kitchen now and check it out. Good.
It's also the first ever noodle shop in Hong Kong to receive a Michelin star.
Say again?
It's the first.
So right now we're walking through the restaurant and heading into the kitchen where they make this stir-fried noodle dish. Entering through this door, passing by the dim sum station and the chef right here next to the wok station. Sir, let's get into it. So we have all of our ingredients right here, including beef. These are the beautiful rice noodles. We have yellow chives, we have scallions, we have onion, and then we have bean sprouts. Step 1, put oil into a crazy hot wok. Then he hits the beef with a little bit of oil and slides that gently into the oil. My God, he's basically deep frying the beef at this point. Glorious. Next, he grabs the onions. Those hit the oil too. So that gets put to the side. We're not going to be eating all that oil today. The next step, we have the bean sprouts and then the rice noodles. Oh, look at that technique. Just making it dance. Scallions are going in. A little MSG, salt, and sugar. And then we've got some yellow chives. He tosses back in the meat with the onion. Keep it moving, keep it moving. Hit it with a little bit of sauce. That is homemade soy sauce he just put in, and that gives it all this beautiful color. The dish has completely transformed. He lights it on fire. That was some lard. Alas, the dish is complete. Just look at that sheen. Right here we have the final product. It looks amazing. Thank you, chef. All right, folks, we have our noodles. Right here. Even after doing this all this time, when I set up lights in a random restaurant and eat with my wife filming me with the phone, I get a little self-conscious. I feel like people might be looking at me, judging me. But here's the reality. I want you to know if you try to do something similar to what I'm doing right now and you're worried like, oh my God, people are judging me, guess what? They are. Especially me. Probably me the most. Let's eat. Okay, I'm gonna start with the beef. The beef is thinly sliced, super lean. Virginia says it comes from the butt of the cow. Is that right, Virginia?
Correct. It's the most tender with beef flavor.
Okay, I'm not sure who told her the most tender part of the cow was in the butt, but that's what she thinks. Let's find out. Wow.
Was I right?
That's tender. It's almost somewhat spongy. There's a strong taste of soy sauce in here. Let's mix up these noodles and get a nice big bite. Oh my God. Wow. The noodles are glistening. You can see there's a sheen on these.
The sheen and the glisten is from the lard they use at the very end.
Ah, see? Lard does have a purpose. Aside from soy sauce, there is that flavor, that smokiness that comes from the wok. I think people call it wok hei.
Wok hei, the breath of the wok.
That's definitely what I'm tasting, some wok breath. Finally, I'm told this is a hot sauce that I should be trying. Cheers. Oh man, very sour, salty, and a lot of heat. This is really an incredible plate of noodles, and it costs $18.33. So this was a fantastic noodle experience, but not our final noodle experience, because we're gonna be trying next the most expensive noodles we can find here in Hong Kong. This location right behind me doesn't actually seem like they would have an expensive bowl of noodles. It looks like just a typical run-of-the-mill Hong Kong diner. But in fact, here they have a bowl of noodles they're selling for $58. Virginia, how are they getting to that price?
It's the beef.
Which part of the cow is the meat coming from?
It's a very specific part. Let me try to demonstrate. Now, if I were a cow, so it's between the ribeye and the brisket, and it's like 1%, and you only have it on both sides, so there's only 2 pieces of it, and it's fresh beef.
No, please stop. let's just go inside and take a look. Boom! I have stepped into the noodle room and I'm here with the noodle maestro himself, and he's about to embark on this beef noodle mission. Let's get to it. It all starts in here with the beef. I mean, that is exactly what Virginia described. We come back into the noodle room and then he gets the cleaver out. Time for some serious business. Wow, that thing's sharp. So he's carefully taking off some of that lard. Now he's cutting thin slices of this portion right here. This is gonna cook instantly in the hot broth. The next move is to grab the noodles. This is a thin white vermicelli noodle. Puts it in the basket. It only takes a moment before those noodles slide right into the bowl. He blanches some greens, not knowing that I don't actually care about vegetables, but he does it anyways. The veggies go on top of the noodles. Now the beef heading into the basket and being dropped into this beef bone broth. It only takes a moment of the searing hot broth to just barely kiss the beef before it's already cooked through. He brings the beef back and plops it on top of the noodles. He hits it with a little bit of garlic oil and then more of that beef bone broth saturating the noodles. Green onions on top, and that dish is complete. Now the chef is pouring some soy sauce and a bit of chili oil. Thank you, chef. All right, folks, we have our final noodle of this video. Virginia, how did you find this place?
I went on the internet and searched most expensive bowl of noodles, and then there was an article that was very divided about this bowl of noodle. So I was like, ooh, maybe Sunny should try.
Wow, controversial. I will tell you in the end if I think it's worth it. First of all, he did not skimp on the beef. Look at the marbling on that. It's like a nice netted texture of fat and protein. I'm gonna give it a little bit of a dip. Let's give it a shot. Super salty. Oh, it's spicy too. And then the feel of the meat is super satisfying. Oh my God, I better eat some more meat. There's so much meat. Aside from the beef, this is a beautiful, rich broth. Not very salty, but it has a lot of beefiness to it, but I like it. Meanwhile, I forgot it's a noodle tour. I'm gonna take some with the beef. I'm gonna hit it with a little bit of sauce, pick up some beef and some noodles together. The noodles are delicious. They're actually keeping their shape pretty well for being a rice noodle, and they're soaking up all that broth, adding even more beefiness and a little bit of balance to each bite. This is a tough call. Would I, in my normal life, spend $58 on a bowl of noodles like this? I'd probably be tempted just to get the typical like wonton noodles or something like that. Regarding whether it's delicious or not, oh, it's delicious. Regarding the price, I'm not so sure about that.
After spending some major money on this city's most expensive noodles, I'm ready to double down on my culinary investments. Next, I want to see if I can spend more than $100 on Hong Kong street food in one day.
But there's a problem. Street food in Hong Kong is dying. Here, they don't call it a street food stall, they call it Dai Pai Dong. Decades ago, they used to be everywhere, but these days, only a few remain in the city.
Next, I'll eat at 3 different Dai Pai Dong street food stalls, spending more money at each one I go to. And by the end of the day, I'll order the most expensive food on the menu at this late night location.
We've arrived at our first Dai Pai Dong right behind us. Virginia, tell me about this place.
We're at Bing Ki Ta Dong. They've been open since the 1950s and they've never moved. They're open from 7 a.m. all the way to 3 p.m. So they specialize in breakfast food like instant noodles with pork chop.
The entrance to the kitchen is right behind me, but outside we can already see some of the ingredients they're using for this breakfast. Right here, a big stack of eggs, and then right here you can see a bowl full of instant noodles. We're gonna be getting some instant noodles soon, but first take a look at the action going on in here. So right here we have plates full of eggs, and inside of here we have pork chops. Oh my God, will you take a look at that? Shining, shimmering, splendid. Right now she's putting pepper on top, and then she put some dark soy sauce in as well. Soon I'm gonna be trying out the noodles they make here, but first I wanna see their breakfast sandwich. Right here we have some already grilled up Spam, and then we have what looks to be Spam and eggs. Everything starts right here with a fat slice of white bread. Bread goes in the toaster. She's picking out the toast with a chopstick and rotating it every few seconds. Be sure to do this step with a wooden chopstick and not a steel chopstick. From here, she actually takes a single piece of toast and cuts that in half. She slathers it with a little bit of butter. She hits that with Spam, and then she hits it with a scrambled egg, top it, cut it in half, and that sandwich is ready to go. So that is how you make the sandwich. Now we're gonna check out the noodle. She puts the seasoning packet into the soup. Right here, she has some lettuce, some broth, and some noodles. And then on top, she puts an egg. Right down here, we have the pork chops getting scooped out of a plastic bowl. She puts chicken wings onto the plate next, and that is leaving. And just like that, the food has disappeared. I don't know what's going on. Boom! Our first meal of the day. Today I'm attempting to spend over $100 on Dai Pai Dong food in Hong Kong. Well, this is probably going to be the cheapest meal of them all. First of all, this sandwich right here, $3.50. And then somehow these two go together. A bunch of meat and then noodles in a bowl. That costs $5.90. So right here we have a thick, fatty piece of Spam. This could have been put on the griddle 15 minutes ago or 15 days ago. I wouldn't know the difference. And then on the other side, a unique looking omelet. This looks like a fantastic breakfast sandwich. It's full of all the things you want in a breakfast sandwich. Breakfast meat, breakfast egg. The end. Let's give it a shot. Oh, that's good. It mostly tastes like greasy, processed, delicious Spam and a little bit of egg. It's real like junky comfort food. How do I say this in a nice way? It's Spam. Spam is, you know, I grew up in a trailer house and we always had Spam. It's very affordable. Wash it down with a little bit of milk tea. And then we move on to our noodles. When I eat these, Virginia, do I put the meat back inside? What do I do?
It depends. Do you like a little bit of sauce and soup with it, or do you like it just dry?
Okay, so it seems you can go either way. I've got an egg on here. Come take a look at the anatomy of this bowl. They put a layer of blanched greens on top. Am I looking forward to that? No, I'm gonna put that to the side for now. But then underneath that, we have this kind of semi-clear broth, and then the noodles. Then here we have the pork chop. Oh, that's wild. Super delicious, tender, and I would bet $1,000 they put the ramen seasoning into the pork chop.
It's like a black pepper sauce.
Maybe I lost $1,000, but it does taste almost exactly like ramen seasoning. From here, I want the ultimate bite. Oh, this is potentially too much. Oh, it's so good. I love it. A classic street side Hong Kong breakfast. The noodles are nice and soft. The egg is tender yet warm, even though it was fried a minute ago, yesterday. I don't know. They do have chicken wings. They just have a whole assortment of random meats. Let's try out this wing. It's real good. Super salty, a strong taste of soy sauce. This is our first location. This is a fantastic start to the day. But from here, we are going to 2 more Dai Pai Dong. The next 2 open up in the evening. So we're gonna have to wait a little bit, get our hunger back, walk around, and then head to the next location. All right, folks, we are headed to our second Dai Pai Dong location. Now, this is Stanley Street, and in this section, there are a bunch of different Dai Pai Dong set up. Some are from the morning, they're closing down now, and some are just getting started. We had the breakfast food, and now it's time for some dinner. The next Dai Pai Dong Virginia has selected is right there. Why do you like this one, Virginia?
Because they started in 1948 and you get to eat outside and it has that really crazy atmosphere. And it has the wok hei.
Wok hei.
Wok hei.
Wok hei is the unique smoky and charred flavor imparted to food by cooking it in a hot wok over high heat, or like Virginia says,
The breath of the wok.
This morning there was clear, distinctive breakfast food. What makes Dai Pai Dong night food different from the breakfast?
Morning is fast food. Instant noodles, bread, things like that. At night, that's where the action happens. That's when we're gonna have that family style meal. Clams and black bean sauce, eggplant with like fish, lots of seafood, anything that hits that wok, like fried rice, fried noodles.
Boom, I'm in the kitchen with Master Lamb right here. And guys, you have to take a look at his mise en place. This is all the sauce and ingredients he's working with. We're gonna be starting with shrimp and eggs together. He hits the wok with a little bit of oil. Then in go the shrimp, just frying away. Now he strains out the rest of the oil. So essentially those shrimp have been deep fried. Coming in next, he splatters the egg inside the wok and gives it a little bit of a stir. In with a little bit more oil, he tosses it around a little bit. And just like that, our first dish is complete, a shrimp omelet. This guy moves like lightning. He has to because he is the only cook for about 20 different tables here. Guys, take a look. This is a pigeon. What's amazing is some of these Dai Pai Dong actually serve pigeons. So this guy could technically be on the menu. He has no idea how much danger he's in right now. One of the first things you'll notice about the menu here is that all the food is very protein-based. It's mostly meats from different animals. Everything from pork or goose intestines to the food you see in front of me right now, an omelet that is full of shrimp. Let's give it a shot. Oh my God, that's delicious. It's a delicious, well-whipped classic omelet that has nice bouncy shrimp inside. It's so good.
We usually eat this all with rice.
Low carb, baby. The thing is, this person deserves a lot of credit right here because this is like the prep chef. That guy is getting the order and then giving little bowls of shrimp or meat or whipped eggs to this guy to then cook up. He's kind of propping this guy up, making him look like a hero. These are clams cooked in a black bean sauce. Wow, look, that clam has a double muscle and this one has none.
You used the clam as a vessel to pick up more sauce if you want.
You guys like how I have Virginia here as like a literal food coach walking me through how to eat this, all the while not sitting at the table with me or eating my food. It's called having boundaries, right, Virginia? She's saying to use the shell as a spoon. You can see it right there. There's some onion. Actually, there's some literal bean that is black. Okay, let's give it a shot. Oh man, it's so delicious. It is a fermented bean, so it's super savory, full of umami flavor. This is the ideal drinking food for a couple of reasons. One, it's protein. Two, it won't get you full right away. Three, it's salty as heck. I love it. Let's try our final offering right here. I'm told this is a chicken kidney. Now, I didn't even know chickens had kidneys. This dish starts with oil. Next, we have the chicken kidneys going in, getting deep fried in the oil. He strains out the kidney and puts the meat back into the wok. From here, we have some green pepper. And just like that, that dish is complete. And now that I'm looking at it, is that a kidney? I'm gonna give it a shot and see what happens. Oh, it's crunchy, kind of like a chicken gizzard, but it's definitely not a gizzard. That had to be a liver. Wait, isn't that the coxcomb? There's no way this is a kidney. Here's the thing, I got a whole plate of mystery chicken organs here. We are really close to China. You have to be careful with your organs, even if you're a chicken. I mean, this probably came from a botched transplant. So those are our 3 courses for this Dai Pai Dong, but what about the price?
The eggs are $8.33, and then the 2 other ones are $10.90 each.
Altogether, it comes out to $30.13. So from here, we're headed to our final Dai Pai Dong of the evening, and there we are gonna have our most expensive meal yet and see if it's possible to spend over $100 on street food here in Hong Kong in one day. Let's go find out. We have come to our final Dai Pai Dong. Everybody is drunk except for me. That makes me sad. Virginia, tell me a little bit about this place.
This place at Poppin, they started as a lamb brisket noodle place in the 50s and 60s, and about 5 to 6 years ago, they turned it into a stir-fried nighttime Dai Pai Dong, and it's crazy.
I see the cook right now has a cigarette hanging from his mouth. That's incredible. You know your food is good if it's got a little bit of cigarette ash inside. That adds that perfect amount of umami. What I'm gonna do here is order the most expensive thing they have on the menu in an effort to spend over $100. Let's see what it is.
Let's do it.
This is our first dish right here. It is shrimp. So this is our wok chef right here. He has a salted egg yolk and he's chipping that away and putting that into the hot wok. All of that is salted egg yolk. Wild. That is mixing up with some oil and he's making a delectable sauce. Right here, he puts in salt, sugar, and MSG. The shrimpies are going in the salted egg yolk and that's gonna get mixed up real nice. He tosses the shrimp about, he does a quick 180 and then he puts the shrimp on the plate just like so. And just like that, dish 1 is complete. This guy is an animal. Yeah. Boom, who's drinking now? It's me. Beer, apple cider, YouTube. Right here we have 2 courses. Immediately to my left we have salted egg shrimp. What I don't know about this dish is how to eat it.
You break it off, you suck out the head juice, you can also suck out the salted egg yolk.
Thank God she said salted egg yolk after saying suck off. These shrimp, not that big. Pretty medium size, but I'm gonna twist that head off and you can see the fat and the goo from the head. I'm gonna give it a suck. You know, the head fat with the fat from the salted egg yolk, it's a lovely combination. It's not a lot of sustenance or calories, but it's a lot of flavor. Let's give it a taste. Delightful. Bouncy, salty. The egg yolk is slightly chalky. It has a very unique flavor. So let's talk price. Our shrimp dish right here, as petite as they are, costs $18.97. Meanwhile, the food that resides in here, it's $42.05. So what inside of here could possibly cost over $40? Well, so the first ingredient to this dish right here is chicken, and then we have the second ingredient, that is eel. He had some MSG, salt, pepper, and then some cornstarch too. This wok is blazing hot. He puts in some oil. Right here he takes the chicken and he tosses it in. Chicken is just frying away. Up next, the eel. Slop it in there. So right now we have chicken and eel frying together. This is a wild combination. Oh my God. Right now we see him straining out all the oil. The chicken and the eel are fully cooked, going back into the wok. He hits it with a little bit of wine, sending the fire ablaze. A splash of water. Boom, vegetables. Green peppers, onions, more soy sauce, MSG, salt, sugar, oyster sauce. That is complete. Now all of this heads into a giant clay pot. Then they put on some greens, put a lid on top, and that is ready to go to the table. Virginia, why do chicken and eel go together?
It's like very common clay pot rice toppings. We just like to throw everything in a pot. It's delicious, why not?
She doesn't know. But if you look inside, you can actually just see it's really bubbling. There's kind of a thick brown gravy on the bottom. At first, what is chicken? Okay, that's definitely chicken. And then you've got thicker pieces like this. That is the eel. We'll come back to that later. Close it up to keep it warm. I mean, this is the type of food, if you're gonna be here for 3 to 4 hours throwing back beers, this is what you get. Like these ladies behind me, they've been here since yesterday and they're still going hard. Come take a look at this. It's still hot, which is a good sign. You want that chicken to be cooked all the way through. It looks gorgeous. Let's try it out. Oh, that's good. Plump, fatty, warm, succulent, hot chicken. On the outside, it's just a sticky glaze of delicious flavors. What are those flavors? Chicken is one of them. It tastes very strongly of soy sauce and just, a beautiful blend of ingredients. But the chicken is the most normal part of this dish. I got a nice plump piece of eel. You can see the skin on the outside and then like these 4 quadrants of meat. The notion, the idea of eel felt a lot more weird, but now that I'm looking at it, it looks pretty dang good. Oh my God, simple. That sticky sauce, it doubles as a deadly napalm. Oh my God, it stuck to my skin and burned me. But otherwise, delicious. Sometimes it's good to mix a little bit of pleasure and pain. It's that same delicious, savory, sticky soy sauce on the outside, but the flavor of the protein is completely different. There's a lot of minerality to the seafood. The skin is thick and somewhat gummy and gelatinous. So these are our final 2 dishes here today. The goal initially, when we set out this morning, was to spend over $100 on Dai Pai Dong street food. But have we achieved that goal? Well, next we're gonna add up everything throughout the entire day and let you know. Let's find out. Today we saw that it goes $100 street food, but how much did we actually spend? We spent $100.55. Now you know. I told you we would do it, and we did it.
After spending more than $100 on Hong Kong street food, I realize I've set my sights too low. Next, my aim is to spend over $1,000 on just seafood throughout the city. From affordable markets to the most insanely priced seafood you'll find anywhere in Asia. But first, fishbowl.
Let's do it.
That's what that's supposed to be. We have come to our first and cheapest location of the day right behind me. Here, this place is famous for all types of seafood. Their menu is huge and they're open 24 hours a day. Right now it's morning time. It's breakfast. It's the perfect time to eat some balls. My favorite shape of food. Let's go inside and see how it's made and let's see how much it costs. Right here we have entered the kitchen. My man, he is the chef and he is right now preparing a load of wontons. Those look good. Maybe I'll change my order. All right, let's do it. I'm following the chef over here into the corner. He has a random drawer full of fish slices, balls and slices. These are in the hot water right here. He wets the bowl. Looks like he's got some rice noodles and those get blanched in the hot water as well. The rice noodles are tossed into the bowl. Boom, balls in the bowl. Boom, fish slices also in the bowl. But right now this bowl needs some flavor. How about a little bit of broth and then a little bit of lard? He put his finger in it for some reason. This woman right here is about to garnish our bowl. We have some green onions. That's the garnish? Okay, the garnishing is complete. Thank you, chef. So we have our bowl right here. This is what you get early in the morning. 4 balls, 2 slices, garnished just in a spoon, and then noodles underneath. Don't let that be your first bite. I think you should mix it in perhaps. Virginia, why are fish balls so common and so popular in Hong Kong?
So what happened back in the day is if people didn't sell all the fish, we don't waste. So then they make it into a paste and then they add a filler like some sort of starch.
I gotta say, that was quite a sell for fish balls. Old fish meat and mixed with binders and formed into a ball. Right here we have the rice noodle. It's soaking in this broth. Is it a pork bone broth?
Pork bones and fish bones.
All right, let's try it out. Oh, it's so good. The broth is incredibly hot. Even though it's been sitting here for a few minutes, I can hardly handle it. Oh, that's good. Super savory, salty. You can taste the fish bones in there. I like it. But enough with the broth. We're trying to build our way up to these fish balls. First of all, fish slices. Cake. It's kind of bouncy. It has a ton of flavor inside. It tastes like delicious processed fish. I gotta say, for under $5 in Hong Kong, this is a heck of a deal. May I remind you that later in this video, we're gonna be spending over 100 times this much on a meal. So this is just the beginning. I have my bouncy fish ball right here. Dense and soft at the same time, full of flavor, warm. Oh, that's nice. So this is our first course, super inexpensive, but next we're headed to a fish market, a seafood market where we can actually pick up the food that we want to eat and bring it to someone to cook it. Let's move. Boom, we have officially arrived at the fish market. I am excited. This place is wild and it's packed with action.
We're in Sam Shui Po. This is Bay Home Market. This one just tends to have a really big seafood section.
Oh my God, this guy's carting around live seafood.
The people that come around here are gonna be the local residents, but there's also a lot of restaurants who come to their favorite vendor and grab their seafood of the day as well.
So from here, I'm gonna be exploring the market, seeing what kind of seafood they have. Let's get started. The first thing I see is prawns that are still jumping about. They're very lively. Right here we have mantis shrimp. These things look gigantic. They have some of the biggest clams I've ever seen right here. They've got lobster. They have humongous razor clams. Oh, and they have crabs. Boom. Take a look at this guy. That is a big mud crab. That is about as big as they get. They don't get much bigger unless you find them around Fukushima. We've come to another stall. Here, he's mainly selling fish. Look, they even have a species of headless fish. I think that fish got in a car accident. My favorite thing about this place is this right here. A cage full of frogs. They're known as Chinese edible frogs. Much easier to eat than the Chinese inedible frogs. Don't stress out, guys. Wow, immediately they tried running away. All right, that one has my name on it. There we go. He's wondering, he's like, what the f is going on? Look how big those calves are. What is it, Samoan? All right, I'm gonna put him back for now and take a look. I'm gonna put him back for now and take a look more around. I'm gonna put him back for now and look around some more. There we go. All right, we've come to another stall. Here they have so many cool things. Shellfish, snails. This is a golden snail. Take a look how fat this snail is. What a treasure. Perhaps this should be our first meal. Here, I want to show you this. These are abalone. What's great about these abalone is that they're still alive. You can see that they're moving in the shell. What's even better is that later today, at the most expensive seafood restaurant we could find in Hong Kong, we're gonna be having abalone that have actually been dried for a long period of time. These abalone, they cost hundreds of dollars. But first, let's pick out some foods here.
Our first seafood pick for meal 2 is this log of extremely long razor clams.
Oh yeah, nice. Oh my God. They're so long that they have extra appendages sticking out.
For our second seafood, I'm diving into the amphibian bin for 3 of these plump Samoan frogs.
The big question is, are frogs a seafood? I say yes, because they like to live in the water or hang out in the water. At least they like to be wet. So we've come upstairs to what looks like a giant cafeteria. Here there are loads of restaurants making different seafood dishes, but you can also bring your own seafood up here and have them cook the food for you. Right now, Chef Sandy is getting started on our frogs and our clams. Oddly enough, she's using a razor to cut open the razor clams. Maybe that's why they call it a razor clam. She gives everything a little bit of a bath. Next, she meticulously cleans out the sand and the poop from the inside of the shell. So today we're gonna be having our razor clams with some glass noodles and garlic. Beautiful. Oh, then this right here is the garlic sauce. She has to carefully make sure to get it inside of the shell so it'll flavor the meat as it steams. Now we're headed back into the kitchen and these are gonna head right into the steamer. So that will steam for about 10 minutes and we'll see those soon. We have our second meal of the day right here in the form of 2 different seafoods. Let's talk about money. The price for 3 frogs, only $5. But this over here, $23. That's just for the raw ingredients though. To get everything cooked, it also costs an additional
$23.08.
Let's talk about flavor, starting with these guys right here. This is a classic recipe in Hong Kong, so I'm gonna take this massive bite and toss it back. Cheers. Oh my God. The clams are super delicious. The right amount of chewiness. There's a big load of noodles on top, and then that garlic paste. It's a powerful flavor. It's so good. So Virginia, most of the people who are up here in this kind of cafeteria area, are they bringing their own seafood or are they just ordering from the menu?
Right now is a work day, so people are just ordering on the menu. They're doing something really fast on the go, and then they're gonna get out.
Is it still mostly seafood here, or is it a big combination of options?
It's a big combination of options, especially for lunchtime. At nighttime is when we're really gonna do these like family-style seafood dishes.
And that's when the beers come out. But for now, Coke. So we can stay awake until tonight. Next, frog. She's preparing a hot wok right here. She hits the frog with a little bit of cornstarch to make it nice and crunchy. And she literally just tosses in the frogs piece by piece. It's a dangerous game. Now it is time to remove all the frog parts. Oh. And then she puts it back in the fryer a second time. From here, she's putting in a combination of powerful flavors. We've got onion, chilies, garlic, ginger. This is steaming fish soy sauce, plus a little bit of fish sauce. Even more flavors. This one happens to be a little bit of sugar. Then she puts the frog back in. Right here, she has some fried garlic and the green onions. Everything is now in the wok together, getting nice and happy. Take a look at that crispiness factor. Those look awesome. Remember that massive, juicy frog calf we saw earlier? Here it is again in the fried form. Cheers. Yeah. You just put a little bit of cornstarch on there, and that's enough to give it a little bit of a crust. It is an amazing savory flavor and just some very tender, delicious frog meat underneath. I really like it. Oh, is that a rib cage?
Oh, the pelvis? That's my favorite part.
Yeah, me too. Oh, on frogs, yeah. I feel like we're just warming up. This is our second location, but we've already spent over $50. We're on our way to 1,000. Will we get there? Let's find out at our third location, coming up after this, obviously. We have come to seafood location number 3. Now this is a whole big complex of different aquariums, tons of live seafood, crustaceans, and fish, plus a load of different restaurants to cook that seafood up for you. Virginia, how does this place work?
This place is called Lei Yun Mun. This place is the place to go with a bunch of friends. You want to have about 10 people, you order 8 to 10 different seafoods, and you eat it at nighttime. It's definitely a meal where you're going to be spending a little bit more money.
Let's go take a look at what they've got. So we have come to our live seafood location with Alice, who's going to help us take a tour of what they have available here. Shall we take a look? Yeah. First of all, they have a vast array of colorful fish. And then over here, we have something very special. These are some huge cuttlefish. Oh, there it is. Look at this monster. Wow, it's barking. What's in here?
This one is abalone from Africa.
Really? Come take a look. It is a big, thick creature. The abalone hit different whether from South Africa or North Africa, anywhere. Let's talk about these. So this is a mantis shrimp inside of here, and it's so dangerous it can actually punch you and cut you. It can even punch through the plastic. Has this ever hurt you? No.
After reviewing several more seafood options, I've made up my mind, opting for this mammoth spiny lobster.
Look at the horns on this guy. This alone could stab you like a double-horned unicorn.
Now let's weigh this baby in and see how much it costs.
So in Hong Kong, this is how you weigh the seafood. It's a very old school method, but it's tried and true. In the end, after doing the math, this guy right here cost $205. Not cheap, and that does not include the cooking. So we're headed to the kitchen next to see what the chef does with this bad boy. All right, folks, we are in the kitchen right now with Asan. He is supremely excited. You can tell he's doing the peace sign and everything. And then we have the lobster, equally excited. Step 1, he completely removes the tail. This is really the prize of the whole thing, and soon this is going to be utilized in a very unique dish.
Next, the chef chops both the head and tail into smaller sections. He gives them a little bath and prepares for the next steps.
All right, guys, we can't show the chef here because he's wanted for evading taxes, so let's just cover his face up. All right, so right now we have our lobster pieces and we are at the wok station.
First, deep fry the lobster chunks in hot oil until they turn a bright, beautiful orange hue.
Ooh, that's pretty.
Next, prepare some wheat noodles with chicken stock, salt, and butter. When they're done, let the noodles rest on a plate, waiting for the lobster.
Now he puts some oil back into the wok. He hits it with some secret stock, and then the lobster goes in as well. Next, he's taking cornstarch and putting it in the ladle right here, and that goes inside to help thicken everything up. I've never seen lobster prepared like this in my life.
Finally, the chef reassembles the lobster, making it whole atop a glorious mound of noodles.
Have you ever seen anything so majestic? Just 3 chefs working together, one who has to hide his identity from the world. So many secrets in one man. Oh, all that remains is this delicious, flavorful sauce. Thank you, chef. He smiled at me. I can't show you, but oh God, that was close. Thank you. Virginia,
Yes.
take a look. Don't taste.
Okay.
How's it look?
Majestic.
Coming back. Bring it back. Bring it back. Bring it back.
Are you gonna share your food?
Yeah, totally. So I'm gonna start with this because it looks epic. Right here we have a big portion of tail. There's kind of 2 elements here. There's the texture, which is slightly sinewy, a little bit tough, but then there's that sauce. It is a delicious, savory, deep flavored chicken stock that pairs beautifully with the seafood. All right, now let's get to those noodles.
You could probably use the shell and put everything in the shell and
Oh, that's a fun idea. I want to do what the lobster would have appreciated, which is making use of its body. Let's put some noodles right here on the shell. Let's toss it back. Oh, that's delicious. That same super thick, savory sauce has influenced the flavor of everything on here. It's got like a nice little wheat noodle texture, but I think the big move right here is to mix that with some of the lobster. Right here, we have what I like to call the perfect bite. That was so good. Conclusion, this, good. In again, the meal is unique and something I've never seen before, but let's talk about the price. The fresh raw lobster, that was $205, but to cook it into this masterpiece, that was an additional $40.
So all in, I've spent $245 on this meal, but my goal is to see if I can spend more than $1,000 on seafood in one day. Soon we'll be heading to a restaurant where the prices are not just double, but they're more than triple what I just paid. This restaurant specializes in crafting the most luxurious dried seafood dishes you can find in Hong Kong. But how can dried seafood be even more expensive than seafood that's fresh? To find the answer, I'm first heading to the dry seafood section of this market.
How is it possible that dried seafood could be so much more expensive than fresh seafood?
Because it takes so much work and it's very laborious. So at the beginning, in order to dry it, they actually will have to catch it. They have enough space to dry it, and it may take a couple weeks. And then if you were to eat at a restaurant, say a dried sea cucumber, then it starts from being dried like this, and then it takes about 7 days in advance to rehydrate it.
And so at the end of all this work, is the final product, does it taste better to have a sea cucumber that has been dried and then rehydrated?
It's a different texture. Like, so for you, you might think something is gelatinous or chewy, but we have more granular categories. It might be gelatinous but crispy, gelatinous but gooey. And then it goes really good with sauces because they might braise it in a sauce and then it just kind of takes on the flavor of that sauce.
Oh my God, I'm nervous, but I'm excited. And also, this is gonna be one of the most expensive meals of my life. I hope it's worth it. We have just arrived at our final and most expensive seafood restaurant of the day, a 3-star Michelin restaurant known as Forum. Virginia, tell the folks about this place.
We are here to try dried seafood, which is called HOISIN, which is basically flavors of the sea. They are most famous and well known for their abalone.
Today we're gonna be starting with a dish that costs $100 and involves a sea cucumber. But after that, we're gonna be trying something that costs $900. How do you get to $900? What are we eating? All right, folks, right now we are in a private room and Chef Adam is over here. And he is about to prepare our first course, which is the sea cucumber. The sea cucumber today is gonna start with some foie gras, and he's kind of mashing it up, cutting it into smaller pieces. That smells good. Next, the sea cucumber. Oh my gosh, so the sea cucumber has been reconstituted and hollowed out, and now he's taking the foie gras and stuffing it inside like a delicious taco. This is a preparation like I've never seen before. So from here, he's gonna take it away to steam it for about 10 minutes and bring it back. Alas, our first course has arrived. The price for this dish right here, $100 USD. I'm told you're supposed to eat it with a fork. Oh, what the? Whoa, that texture is wild. I'm gonna gently slide it onto the fork. Let's go for it. Oh my gosh, it's like I get it now. The act of drying it out, then rehydrating it, it completely changes the structure of the food. It's super soft, borderline gooey, but still very satisfying to chew through. Let's try one more bite. Wow, inside the foie gras tastes delicious, rich, fatty, and wonderful. I get the 3 stars now. This isn't just about good, consistent food preparation. This is like breaking new ground, doing something completely different at a very high level. And this is just our appetizer. So our next dish is the famous abalone. Right here, I have a plate of Oma abalone from Japan. All of this abalone has been dried out already. Each piece is over $2,000, and this entire plate is about $25,000. This is a down payment on a house.
As it turns out, $2,000 for a single abalone is a bit over my budget, so I'm getting the poor man's version of this dish, clocking in at a much more affordable $900.
Alas, our final course has arrived. The abalone is here as well as the fish maw, and the chef is about to take it away. It starts with the abalone going inside a big clay pot of premium chicken stock. Right here we have the bowl of fish maw. That is the fish air bladder. Right here he's got an abalone sauce that he's adding in, creating a beautiful brown, rich hue. Oh, look at that. Next he mixes in some cornstarch and water, turning this thin stew into a thick gravy. Next he adds in some dark soy sauce. Oh, here we have some Chinese preserved ham juice, something we all have in the pantry. He gives it a little bit of a taste, but is he satisfied?
Very good.
Oh, thumbs up. Alas, the plating. Some greens along with a tiny portion of rice because he knows I'm on keto. He plates the abalone and he plates the fish maw. Chef, thank you so much. It looks amazing.
Thank you. Enjoy.
Virginia?
Yes.
So far during this trip, you've seen me eat a lot of food, but I thought this is a very special meal, so we should both have a chance to try it at the same time. $900, $900.
Oh, you're so nice. You are a softie.
So the fish maw is one of those things where most places around the world, they probably discard it, but in this part of the world, it is a delicacy. I'm gonna cut into it just using a fork. Are you eating it already?
Oh, it's so good.
So there it is, my giant thick piece of fish maw. Let's give it a try. That is wild. There's no seafoodiness to it whatsoever. It's just like a big, soft, semi-gelatinous piece of giant cow tendon. That's the only thing I really know to compare it to. What about you, Virginia?
Well, like I said, you might think all of these textures are gelatinous, but for me, I feel like the sea cucumber was gelatinous but crispy, but this one is more smooth and gooey.
Perfect explanation. Can't believe it. Meanwhile, we have the most expensive item on the plate right here. This is the abalone. I'm gonna give it a cut. That is beautiful. Let's give it a shot. It has this incredible density to the meat. It's something between the crispiness of the sea cucumber and the softness of the fish maw, and it has so much more seafoody flavor to it. It's so good. There's no doubt this was an outstanding experience, but there's one thing left to do. We need to add up all the money spent on seafood throughout the day and see if we did indeed spend over $1,000. Something tells me we finally hit our goal. All right, folks, in this video, we ate 4 different types of seafood. Meal 1 was this much, meal 2 was this much, meal 3 was this much, and meal 4 was this much. If you add it all together, were we able to spend over $1,000 on seafood here in Hong Kong? The answer is a resounding yes.
Easy.
With several serious foodie missions accomplished, it's time to have some fun. And perhaps the most fun thing you can do in Hong Kong is head to the world's smallest Disneyland. Here you can chow down on food from across Asia. But can I eat $100 worth of Disney food? Let's find out.
We have come to our first stop here at Main Street Market. Hello. This guy's wearing a hairnet. I like it. This place has a wild array of different foods. Everything from turkey legs to waffle marshmallow sandwiches to corn to chicken in a plastic bag. I'm not sure who's coming here to get chicken in a plastic bag, but somebody is. Could I please have 1 giant turkey leg? And I would also like the waffle sandwich thing.
$318.
So we've circled around over to here. This is the hopper where they keep the turkey legs warm. They are indeed gigantic. Holy cow. I was hoping that one was mine. I can't believe how big it is. This is my turkey leg. Is it as big as his?
Yes.
This is smaller than his. Is that your biggest one? I just want the most giant one if it's possible. Okay, he's going in. Oh, this guy. You are the best.
Hey.
That is, look at this monster right here. This turkey and Arnold Schwarzenegger have the same doctor. Oh, and then he's bringing my marshmallow sandwich. It looks beautiful. Thank you so much. Our first meal of the day, and I am very excited. First of all, I've got this. It's a marshmallow waffle. Nothing like starting your day with 500 grams of carbs. You can see it has those pre-made waffles on either side. Then we have a huge hockey puck-sized fluffy marshmallow that's pink. Oh, it's bouncy. That's interesting. A little known fact, this is not actually marshmallow. It's harvested unicorn Huh. First of all, I can appreciate that they're trying to make this into a sandwich for the form factor. I give it like a 3 out of 10. I think a kid would like it because they don't have much life experience and they're not that smart. The waffle part is a little bit dry. The marshmallow is so confusing. It's soft, thick, it's resilient. Like if this was giant, you could use it as a trampoline. What is that made out of? I'm a little bit offended right now. People keep throwing trash into my table. Oh, right, the recycling bin. But next we have a giant turkey leg. It's over $20. That is wild, astonishing, and very expensive. They gave me this. I don't know what it is. Maybe a rain poncho? Ah, nice. Hong Kong, so civilized. Oof, God, what is there to do but to eat it? Yeah, I mean, that is a giant piece of meat. The turkey leg is delicious. It's smoky. The taste is very similar to the one that I've had already in Florida. And honestly, it might be the exact same distributor. This was probably smoked in the US and sent over on a barge. I'm gonna take a big giant bite right here. This is the way to start your day. I think people are looking at me because they think I pulled this out of the trash. But no, I'm just eating on top of the trash. It's so civilized. I give this like a 9 out of 10. For those of you coming to Disneyland still trying to bulk, this is the move right here. It's very satisfying. We're almost already 30% of the way done with our budget today. This is a big ticket item. The other foods, they might be a lot cheaper than this, but we have to go find out. I'm also hoping we can find something that feels a bit more Asian-y. Okay, I found a food that you definitely will not find in Orlando, Florida, and that is squid. But it's not just any type of squid. Let's take a look at how it works. This is the squid grilling machine, and you can see all the squid inside being pressed from both sides. So after the squid is cooked, he puts it through the paper shredder. Oh, take a look at that, magical. Oh, you put it in again? Then he puts it in a second time, and then a third time. I'm telling you, this is the Disney magic I've been looking for. By the way, it smells amazing. Very seafoody. For this squid, it is $7.67. It kind of makes sense to me because it's made out of a lot of protein, although it looks like it got ran over by a truck. The smell is so strong and pungent that if you brought this to your office lunchroom, you would get banned. They would kick you out. I love that they have literally dedicated machinery to cooking and slicing up the squids here at Disney. Let's see if we can stretch it out like an accordion. Amazing squid technology. This is good beer food. So far, I'm very impressed with the amount of protein I've been able to eat during this venture. It's chewy. It's been marinated in like soy sauce and sugar. It's delicious. The smell can be intimidating, but once you get to know it, you realize it has a nice personality. I'm just describing myself at this point. Oh. Wow, my God. Guys, that was a raccoon from Guardians of the Galaxy. What's his name? Rocket? Boom, boom, my friend is a tree. Awesome. We have come to Tahitian Terrace Restaurant, and there's nothing I love more than a restaurant with pictures on the menu, but this place does one better. They have 3D models of all the food. This one right here is beef rendang from Malaysia. Right over here, they have some buttered chicken laid out, displayed for your viewing pleasure. I'm gonna go to this restaurant right now and order some Asian classics. All right, I got the wifey saving us a spot, and I'm headed to the line by myself. I'm saying this lunch line is hilarious. I feel like I'm a Disney slave eating lunch at a Disney mine. Everyone's just waiting in line forever for some food. Ah, look at that. So I'm having trouble deciding between these two, the butter chicken and the rendang. So I think I'm just gonna get them both. Couldn't hurt. That was fast. That is the beef rendang, and that is the butter chicken. Let's try it out. All right, folks, what you're looking at here is over $40 worth of food, at least according to Disney in Hong Kong. This is wild, but you know what? We're gonna have a cultural experience. Somehow I knew instinctually that the food at Disney in Asia would just be better, and so far it is. Let's start with this right here. It's called beef rendang, meat braised in delicious spices and coconut milk. Depending on how much fat there is, they have varying degrees of softness, gooiness, and gelatinousness. That's good. Super salty, more salty than, savory. But the beef is very tender, very soft. You can feel each fiber of the muscle. I like it. To mix it, you're supposed to put it with this coconut rice. Now, let's see if this is any good. Coconut rice is like the pride of Malaysia. It's a bit coconutty. It's very mushy, though. It's a bit overcooked. Oh, kerupuk. This is a chip popular in Indonesia. It's basically like a shrimp cracker. Very nice. Here we have like a cucumber salad with onions and tomatoes. And then we have this right here in the leafy packaging. What is that? I'm not sure. It will all be revealed soon. Then on this side, we have another piece of Asia. This is butter chicken. It has a really beautiful orange colored sauce. Rich, heavy, and just a vast array of Indian spices. This has a nice flavor. I haven't had Indian food for a while. Chicken is soft and tender, very satisfying, super salty. I think they want you to get dehydrated and then buy more drinks. The final thing we have not tried is this right here, a mystery food wrapped up in a leaf. Now, if I open this leaf and there's something else that's wrapped in plastic, I will off myself. Oh, yes, no plastic involved. What is that?
It's a chicken.
Chicken?
Yeah.
Thank you. And it looks like many pieces of chicken may be folded on top of each other until it's taken on this weird geometric rhombus type shape. Thank God I went to school in the USA. I know the word rhombus. I also invested at Bitcoin at 60,000. How come we didn't learn about Bitcoin in high school, huh? A bit of lemongrass in there. It's a little sweet, a little savory, and a bit fresh from some of the herbs they put inside. I enjoyed it. From here, I'm gonna finish the rest of this food and work my way around the park. There is a lot more to see here, and we are getting closer to $100. Right now we're at a section of the park known as the Grizzly Gulch. But what cartoon is this from? Who owns this IP? I'm not sure. Anyways, the menu is right here. Everything they have here is fried, and we're gonna give it a shot. We're in a restaurant so generic, they have a food just called Disney character pasta salad. Look at those Disney characters. Ooh, the whole gang is there. Mickey Mouse, corn. Boom, next dish right here. Now, every food place seems to have a theme, and the theme of this one is hot oil. Right over there, if you look, there is a bear character, and the costume is a little bit scary. It looks like the bear has to go to the bathroom, but he just realized it. And he still has to take about 16 more pictures with kids. All right, back to the food. It's interesting if they're putting the fish and the chicken in the same fryer, maybe the fish will taste a little chickeny and the chicken tastes a little fishy. Oh, you can see like real pieces of animal. That's definitely from a chicken. Very nice. Fresh and hot, mostly crunchy on the outside, succulent and soft and greasy on the inside. Not a bad piece of chicken, but something I wouldn't think to pair with chicken is this, fish. I've got my tartar sauce. Oh yeah, classic daycare food. This is food for young kids who have never had fruit or vegetables. I love it. So that's the Grizzly Gulch. How about some more Asian food? Also, we're getting dangerously close to $100. She's not blinking. Blink. So we have wandered into Toy Story Land. Behind me, Jesse's Snack Roundup. A lot of food that is maybe not worth reviewing. They've got corn dogs, they have actual corn, and they have churros. You know what those things are. Not every food is pushing the limit of creativity. Let's keep going till we find something else. We have come to Frozen Land, and here they have some sweet frozen treats. Remember Olaf, the snow bro? It looks like they have a fun dessert that looks like that guy. Is it gonna look like him in the end? Are there gonna be little stick arms in the head? God dang it, there better be. Can I have the ice cream that looks like a little snowman? Nailed it. All right, guys, I've got it right here. First of all, I thought this was all Photoshop, but it's real. My inner 12-year-old is very satisfied right now. It's the most expensive ice cream I've ever bought in my life. Yikes. Let's start with decapitating Olaf. Sorry, buddy. It's like a marshmallow. This is tragic. Look at the divot where his head used to be. His arms, these undoubtedly are made out of chocolate or some kind of a chocolate cookie. It's chocolate, very delicious. Finally, we have the buttons. They look like the charcoal pills that I need to take when I eat street food in India. Basically an M&M, a candy-coated chocolate, delicious. After a lot of savory foods and salt, this is very refreshing. And it was even better that it was personified. By the way, look at that, there's this kid over here dressed as Spider-Man. Nobody tell that kid that Spider-Man is owned by Sony and not Disney. Oops, let's keep moving. We're almost at 100, or are we past it? I'm not sure. We have come to the Royal Banquet Hall for our final location. This is where we're gonna find our most expensive meal of the day. I want to tell you the price after we get the food, but first, we have some fake wax or plastic figurines in the shape of our food. Screw action figures, why can't I buy these in the gift shops? First of all, they're selling abalone, which I can't even believe you could find abalone here in a Disney park. And then they're selling this Korean dish right here. How does it actually look when it's not just in this plastic version? Let's go inside and find out. Oh my God, it's like a refugee camp in here. They have different lines, international, entrees, Japanese, and grill. When you see me next, I'm gonna have food. I gotta figure this out. All right, folks, we have our absolute final meal here because this is a mouthful. We are gonna go from the cheapest to the most expensive thing here. Let's start with the dim sum. You all know me as a very sophisticated, savvy, sophisticated food reviewer. That said, I will order any food with a face or that looks like an animal or a Disney character. Case in point. Most of them look good. For example, this one looks cute, but this one looks like it had a botched plastic surgery. I'm gonna peel the paper from the bottom. It almost feels like it should be illegal, the fact that there's no pork in there. Look at that. It's maybe beans or sugar or some kind of a jam. The steamed bun is soft, moist, but inside, oh man, I was hoping for a mouthful of pork. I feel a little bit ripped off. For 3 of these little piggies, it costs $6.14. Not too crazy, but nothing compared to the abalone. It looks pretty excellent. 2 whole abalone right here on top, a big heavy rice base, and then she poured on this seafood gravy. It looks super savory and sticky. A little carrot, shrimp, chicken. Cheers. Smoky, satisfying. It almost tastes like it was stir-fried or made in a wok. I like it. I find with most of the food here today, somehow it's overly salty, but still somewhat bland. Like their main superpower here is not a balance of ingredients, it's a lot of salt, but not a lot of supporting characters to add to the flavor profile. It seems like they're trying to appeal to a wide variety of people. People that are coming from Europe, people that are coming from the Philippines, and people that are here in Hong Kong too. So maybe that makes them water down the seasoning a bit. I say have a vision, pick a lane, and stay in it. Alas, we have the best part right here though, abalone. It's one of my favorite seafoods out there. Please tell me they did not mess it up. You know what this sauce is? I just realized. It's like that chow mein sauce every kid had in the Midwest when they were 12 years old, mainly me. The abalone though, delicious and a nice dense texture to it. Now, is this entire bowl worth over $21? I guess maybe the abalone is getting it there. What is this, maybe $3 of abalone? So sure. Why not? Alas, we have our final dish. This is our most expensive meal of the day. This is a ginseng Korean chicken soup. I am pumped. They gave me some bonus things. We've got kimchi, we've got rice, and then we've got tteokbokki. Tteokbokki are Korean pounded rice cakes. First of all, they put in mushrooms. Usually when you see tteokbokki in Korea, it's on the street and it's in a red sauce made from a red chili paste. Right here, what is this, Alfredo? I have no idea. Now, is it delicious? No, I don't know. I think that they're doing something new, something different. In Korea, I don't think you would ever see something like this. I think if you did this in Korea, they would throw you off a bridge and then claim that you jumped. You gotta watch your back out there. Alas, a whole flippin' chicken. Oh wow. Chicken butt, chicken thighs, chicken back. I'm gonna rip off the legs right here. It's so bland. There's no flavor. It's okay, it's very fatty. Let me taste some of this broth. I've had samgyetang many times in Korea. It's kind of a classic hangover food. I like that you could be coming here with your family, hungover off your ass on soju, your kids yelling in the background, but nourishing yourself with this dish. Except that it doesn't really have any salt and it tastes oddly bitter. Let's dig into that chest plate a bit. Oh yeah. Ah, it looks tender. You know what? Some foods are hard to mass produce. That's what's going on here. It is difficult to have hundreds of these chickens in a clay pot and kind of time it exactly right. It's a bit dry and it really wasn't seasoned that well to begin with. Mr. Walt Disney is rolling over in his grave right now as we speak. Actually, he'd be shocked that they were even serving Korean food. He'd be shocked to have a theme park in Asia, period. So this is our final meal, and this is the most we've ever spent on a $100 challenge. So from here, we're gonna add up everything we spent across the day. Now I'm gonna let you know the total. Today we set out with the goal to spend over $100 here at this amusement park known as Disneyland here in Hong Kong. Were we victorious? Heck yeah, we were. How much should we spend? The most ever. A record-breaking... Uh-oh, where'd my math go? I lost my homework.
And after adding up all the money I spent on food today, the final amount is an astonishing $147.50. So another successful challenge and my wallet is drained. Food in Hong Kong is truly addicting. From the street food to the seafood, from the very cheap to the ultra expensive. This city has got it all. The next time you visit, be sure to give it a try and share your best experiences in the comments below.